Hey there everyone, and welcome to my 6th episode in my Dungeons & Dragons online free-to-play series. Sorry that it's been a while. In this episode I'm going to be running the Waterworks chain, which is out of the harbour. It's great for levels 3 to 4, even higher if you want to revisit it later. Also, before that though, I'm going to introduce you to the guilds. I mentioned in previous episodes that it's very worth entering a guild if you can, because of the various buffs, and that's what you're seeing at the top of the screen. All of these buffs are granted by visiting the guild's airship, which I'll do now in a second. So we get our roll. Pretty poor, I'm just going to take that. If I can. Must be that one. Now I've joined the guild that I mentioned I was already in on my alternate account, which is the Knights Who Say Ni. They're a level 195 guild, as you can see, which means they have access to every buff that you can imagine, and they've got a very decked out ship. So what you're going to want to do if you want to visit your guild ship, provided you've entered one, is find the anchor symbol on whatever map in the public area you're in, and you can enter it that way. It's nice and easy. It'll just teleport you to the ship directly. Now every guild ship is different, and every guild ship will have different buffs and things selected depending on the guild's preferences, or the owner of the guild's preferences. For this guild they've made it nice and simple, so that instead of running to every single buff and getting them one by one, you can just use the amenity bar. Most guild ships will have this feature. It's very helpful. You simply click on it, and as you can see, it'll load you up on countless buffs that just help with pretty much all of your stats. They're very useful, and I never run without guild buffs. They're just something that I have to have. With this ship here, like as I say, every ship model is different. I can't remember the name of this one, but every layout of the ship is different, and there are quite a few that guilds might buy. So for this guild, I'll check the flagship. It's Brave Souls. That means that the layout is in this configuration. It's hard to explain. But basically, as you enter here, there's a crafting area. Coming through there, there's a banker, auctioneer, mailbox, all really useful to have access to. Every hireling vendor you can imagine, which is very useful, so you don't have to be running about in the harbour and in the marketplace for them. Also barkeep you can sell anything to, which is handy. I think I might do that now actually. As I say, I haven't run this character for about 5 days, so I'm just getting my head around what I was doing. We can pretty much rid ourselves of all this stuff. I think we might keep that nullified staff though. No, we don't need it. So the cat's grace, mage armor. Cool. Sell our gems. We don't have any gems? Okay. After that's done, you can... I'm going to leave the ship, but there are many features inside the ship that you can explore if you've joined a high level guild. Here we've got a far shifter who will send you to some more of the stranger areas in the game. And this is a banquet hall. I believe this is just a buff area. You get those buffs at the amenity bar, so you don't need to go around and get each one. If for some reason you only wanted a few select ones, you can just find those individually, but this is far easier to just get them all in one. Now another useful function of the guild ship is it can teleport you anywhere. As for the far shifter, who can take you to stranger locations or less common ones, the captain themselves can also send you to any of the houses and some of the main adventure packs. You can click remain on the ship if you're not done, but I'm going to be going to the harbour, and it will send you straight to the centre of the harbour, or the entrance to the harbour. So this is where the guild ship entrance is, in the harbour. As you can see, it's very useful. You can run around and go to each vendor, but it's far easier just to go straight to your guild ship. And the buffs are very nice, especially for a first life character, who are generally quite a bit weaker. So for this series of quests I'm going to be running, you have to go to Harbour Master Zin down here. I believe he'll task you with meeting a guard inside the Waterworks. Okay, simple as that. This is technically classed as a wilderness area. There are Slayer buffs you can get, but really I just use it to run to the quest entrances. It's not worth exploring in my opinion, but that's your call. Buff myself because I can.
The strong smell of sewage permeates the air around you. You hear human voices up ahead.
You talk to this guy, he'll give you directions. He's just going to tell you to go up north. So, take this entrance. You'll be going to the right later for the rest of the chain, but for now we need to head up north. It's a bit of a walk. All the enemies are trash in here. They're not really anything to be worried about. Sometimes I don't even bother killing them. Okay, checking where we are XP wise. This is a chain of 4 quests. The first 2 occur in the north part of the map, and then the rest are to the right, like I say. The first 2 quests in the chain are level 3, sorry, but the remaining 2 are level 4. You can undertake those quests at this level if you want. There's a bracket of levels you can enter a quest. So for a level 3 quest, if you're between levels 1 and 5, you won't suffer a penalty. If you're over 2 levels from the quest, then you won't be able to get full XP for the quest. If you're under 2 levels, sometimes you can't even enter the quest. Now we've lost the spell points, but we don't have the buffs. Pick up our ingredients. There's a trap as you open this door, as I can detect, being a rogue. I think the panel's on the other side though. No? Show so often I run these. I mean, that trap won't do much to you on normal, but may as well disable it for our bonus. Another trap. Alright, let's find out where that is. That is there. There might be 2 individual panels for this one. Oh, I faced away. I believe there will be. No, just one. Mr. Wolf. As you can see, the only optional is slaying 60 kobolds, and you'll probably do that just through the course of running a quest. I don't think it's hard to meet that requirement. This area you'll have some projectile flingers. If you go up the back of this pillar, there's a ladder, but it's heavily trapped. So you do risk getting hit by that. Our jump skill should be good enough, so we can just climb on up. Yes, this ladder here. I'm going to kill them all because they'll interrupt me getting my chest. Meh. So can we disable this trap? We should be able to, yes. Behind the pillar? No. I haven't run a rogue life in about a year, so I'm a bit rusty on the locations of traps and stuff. I do remember it for the really bad ones, but some of the less important traps I just have no clue where they might be. The good thing is we have our spot skill up, so we'll be notified before I blast myself to hell. It's always handy. Got a shrine we don't need. Oh. How could I miss you?
You hear a loud chorus of snoring creatures behind the door.
some better area of effect spells, I reckon. It's always nice taking out whole hordes of enemies with one spell. Don't think we'll get our first one for a while yet. But we could take Scorch, which is good. Anything up there we need? Just a breakable. Oh god, this calls for... Yes. Nothing more satisfying. Okay, now we can go interrogate the guard chief. Gonna be a bit lazy and not get those because I don't think we'll have a problem reaching our ransack bonus in this quest. Already been there. If only I could remember where the guard room is. I think it's here. Yes.
You hear an arrogant and loud yipping voice behind the door.
Oh. You can pick this? I didn't know you could pick this. God, I'm not sounding like a professional player here, am I? And we're failing all of our lock checks. No, we're going to leave that one. I do believe that the guard room is actually here, and then we obtain another key to get into the chief's room. I'm just surprised that you can pick that door. You deal with that. Should be the key. Really strange that I could pick that. I'm not sure if it was a glitch or if you can always attempt to pick things even if they're unpickable. That's usually not the case though. Usually it'll tell you that you can't pick the door for some reason. You need the key. But whatever, you learn something new every day. I've managed to bypass the door. Sorry, I'm a bit rusty. You can always count on that insta-kill, 2 spell point attack. Okay, now that gate's unlocked, but we need to interrogate this dude. Okay, there we go. He's told us all we need to know. I believe this is just a chest room. It is trapped. Don't run in there. I know what you're like. There's our ransack bonus. And I have 1 kobold down. I should be able to get that as I leave through the gate. Pretty sure that the bonus is pitiful, but if you have to get it anyway, you may as well. I'm not going to bother resting because as you enter a new adventure, inside of an adventure you're already running, all of your spell points are restored upon entering the next dungeon. There we go. 333. It's quite common in the game to have a dungeon be piggybacked onto another one, and have two separate quests running from the same dungeon. Tangle Route is especially like that, which is a pack we'll run later on. But here, this should be the exit. I think that was an optional down to the left that involves spiders. I love watching her get beaten up. Do have a hatred for hirelings. So we'll get our XP here and then we'll enter the next, which we have to run on normal. Yep, so as you can see you've got all your SP back. I think that's saying that we have more store points. Also, I should mention right now, this might not apply to you as you watch this video as it's a Black Friday sale, but currently there is a massive sale on the adventure packs later in the game. Shan I think is 85% off, which is an incredible adventure pack. It's got some of the best items you can encounter in the game. This isn't showing as on sale, but I know for a fact it is. It might just be on the store itself. Fables of Feywild is also meant to be on special, but 60%, so I might have to check that later. But as we've hit 100 points, that means we can buy our first heavily discounted adventure pack, and I'm going to buy the Mists of Ravenloft, because it's the next pack we'll encounter. It's around level 10. The other two packs to be unlocked at level 15 to 18, about that point, so we want Ravenloft first. So we have earned Ravenloft for free at this point, which is nice. There's a trap. Ravenloft is a massive expansion pack. I think it has 12 quests, tons of wilderness area with slayers and rare encounters. You get a great weapon as you enter it. It's just a really good pack to have, and it's usually 2,500 points, so to get it for 99 is very good. Yes, why not? This is a very easy quest in the chain. It's probably the shortest. You're just rescuing a guy from a prison cell, and then you have to escort him back out. I think this is the fastest route to do. There are quite a lot of enemies here. I know I've gone about SLAs a lot, but you can see how powerful Chill Touch is, and that is probably the most basic spell-like ability you'll encounter. You'll get ones that are bolts later on in the Pale-Master tree, as well as a mass effect, which is like an explosion. Those are really good.
This appears to be Clan Gnashtooth's main prison.
As they cost barely any spell points, you'll be spamming them a lot. Okay, this room's empty. There are a few other prisoners you can rescue. That's usually the case in these quests. You get a bonus if you rescue the other ones. You may as well because they're there. This is the guy we're after though. I'm going to leave him here for now because there are quite a lot of enemies to still clear. He can be killed, I believe. Some quests, the individual you're rescuing can be killed and you'll fail if they die. Other quests, they can't be killed, or you can heal them very easily. I believe in this quest it's quite hard for the person to die, so don't really need to worry. If you're running this on Elite, you'd want to clear the entire dungeon before you rescue him, just on the off chance that some enemy runs out from the corner and fails the quest for you. There's a prisoner. whatever. I'll run up here because we want to clear the top level too before we let him out. And we'll need to pull the lever at the end so we can rescue these other prisoners. And there's a nice chest. Oof. That was close. At the end of this episode I'm going to be running through what gear I've got on, because like I said in a previous one, it's very important to keep up to date with what buffs you have on your gear at any one time. Make sure you're not stacking things that don't stack, that kind of thing. Optimizing, I think is the right word. Realised I didn't buff myself on entering this dungeon. I find with guild buffs these lower level buffs aren't really crucial. We should have a buff to our movement speed already included. At least definitely in a public area. Ah, pleasant. Did you see how many enemies are lurking down there? That's right, we didn't pull that lever, we pulled that one, so we have to bring him back that way. Doesn't look like there's really anything barring us though. Alright. Should we... oh yeah, we need to pull this. Not paying much attention. There you are. What do we get? It's 280. Well, it's probably worth doing. Certainly doesn't hurt. I just played the chest opening sound even though I've already opened it. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Alright, now he'll follow you. And hopefully he won't die, because that'll be a bit embarrassing. Now they've come back, so just to be safe we'll make him sit there and try and blast these before he gets killed. He's running anyway. He has a mind of his own. Screw it, you know what, you're probably strong enough to handle this. Famous last words. Looks like they've recruited one guy to stop us. Truly, oh no, spoke too soon. Truly a worthy death squad. Alright, and the second he hits this front door, what's he doing? Come on. Second he hits this front door, we'll get our XP. God bless.
After thanking you once more, Arlos dashes off towards the surface and safety.
Where does this take us? Okay, it takes us back to the Waterworks, despite being the entrance from the previous dungeon. Now, we talk to this guy, and that's this arc done. The next one, I think we have to pick up once we've left the Waterworks. I could be completely incorrect, so we'll see. Either way, we have to go from the front, well, the entrance, to get to the next area, so it's probably worth recalling. It's got nothing to do with this guy. Okay, so we've already talked to Guard Timber. That means the next part of the Waterworks chain is open to us. Basically, those two quests, you won't be able to follow the story of the quest at all when I play, because I'm just blitzing through
The
it.
strong smell of sewage permeates
But now
the
we've got to
air
go find
around
this guy's brother, I believe, who is being kept in a
you.
separate
You
part
hear
of the prison
human
complex.
voices up ahead.
So we went up here, we want to go right this time. It'll take us to Clan Gnashtooth, I believe. Clan Tunnelworm, we were just at Gnashtooth. Make sure that's highlighted. It's not giving us an arrow or an entrance symbol. That's the entrance, but there's no quest symbol. You really come to hate those stupid freaks after playing this game so long. My hireling! I didn't pull my hireling. That doesn't matter really. It's not like we're gonna die on the way or anything. Keep setting myself up for failure. That was very effective. And you can see we just got a little reward for killing 25 inhabitants. Slayers are pitiful at this level, and they're pretty bad most levels. It's just if you're running with a party, you'll kill a lot more, a lot quicker. And the end reward can be quite a blessing when you're killing like 1,000 of them or that kind of number. I'm afraid. Come on. Thank you. I mean, I don't really have to stand and fight all of them. I'm just choosing to. For example, I'm going to ignore these two. They don't deserve my hatred. These guys do. Ah, bastards. Alright, here we go. As you can see, guild chat's a thing. Once you're in a guild, you'll be able to talk to people through this chat panel. I'm not going to help this guy, just because I'm running this at the moment, but he is correct that you need greater tokens at the 12. Yes, this guy knows it. Some guilds are a lot more active than others. Mine doesn't tend to peak more than like a dozen players on at one time. That I think is very often the case with this game. Oh god. My most hated enemy. Second only to the rust monster. Actually no, they're worse than rust monsters. They're more common. Oh. I just don't want to deal with you. See if I can slip past. Yes.
In the center of the room, a grate covers a shaft
Goodbye.
that disappears
Oh,
into
what?
the depths of the sewers.
Okay.
Dropping straight down this shaft would be deadly.
Goodbye,
You
Risol.
see pipes intersecting it that might help break your fall.
Ah. As always, I'm far too interested in treasure to actually kill anything. There are 2 levers down there we need to pull after I finish with this though. Alright, yes. So basically what they were discussing with tokens is the free way to reincarnate, so that you don't need to buy hearts of wood or hearts of blood. It's quite a good way to reincarnate because, as I say, you don't have to spend any money. And it is quite expensive to buy a heart. I think they're 1,500 if they're not on sale. As I'm only planning on running this character to 20, I don't know if we'll go through the reincarnation process or not. I did buy a True Heart of Blood on another character because they're currently only 300 points. But I'm not going to use it on this one because I think they're bound to account and we're trying to run this for free. These are some evasive little bastards. Thank you. There we go. Mission accomplished. There's an adventurers pack over there if you want to do an obstacle course. I'm really wishing I had a bolt spell at this point, so that I could shoot them from afar. I feel like down here is an optional. It could be crucial to the quest though, so I'm going to do it. No, don't believe it is an optional. Ignore me. Now we're only running Sonic Blast with Empower, I think, not even maximized to save on spell points, but you can see how much damage it can do in a big group. When you've got a real spell, like an area of effect spell, maxed out, it'll tend to nuke everything in the room, depending on the difficulty and what buffs you have, obviously, or what enhancements you have. Nukers are quite a favoured class of player character, just running in and destroying everything before anyone else can touch it. They do suffer usually from running out of spell points very quickly, so you need to know when to blast and when not to blast, and when not to get blasted by traps. Yeah, I saw that, but where's the trap? Maybe it's in here. No? Maybe it's... Yep, hitting me. I'm a bit of a half-assed rogue, to be honest. Maybe the panel's over here. Come on. Well. Oh, all for this. Although we are running quite low on spell points, so it's probably a blessing. The guild I'm in quite often posts coupon codes that are going at the moment. Quite often, I think every week there's a free code. This week it's a Bell of Opening, which will let you open a locked chest or door, which can be useful if you're not a rogue. People often get them and just like stock up on them for if they ever should need it. What's this? No. There's the panel! I'm a terrible rogue. I'm sure it didn't indicate it though. Pulled those. You're back. Now we gotta go do the same thing on the other side. Or to unlock that grate. This is a corridor of death. And there are slimes here. You deal with it. I sold my quarterstaff, I just realised what I was using that for. If you don't have a blue shine weapon or something that's got ooze bane, then I tend to just use sacrificial weapons. We do have one that I'm not proficient in. Yeah, venomous heavy mace, why not? That'll be our ooze smasher. Now these aren't actually traps in the conventional sense because you can disable them with levers that the quest has readily visible. You can see there's a valve there. Turn those off so that you don't get blasted on the way back. That detected it as a real trap. Thank you. As you can see, they're not even hitting me most of the time, so I'm not sure how crucial it is you disable them. Everything is worse when you're in a harder difficulty, so I just get accustomed to being cautious every time. You can go under the water and get this optional chest. I'm not going to bother, but it's there if you want. The entrance I'm talking about is in this room here that I left my dear Illyri. She just finished killing the slimes for me. Right, now that's actually open, so I believe anything in here is an optional, but we'll just do that for the sake of it. Can't remember, there might just be a chest, or lots of breakables. I think there's actually an optional troll in the corner. That could be it. Or There'll be another lovely shrine that we totally don't need. Damn you to hell. Oh, it's a troglodyte. Okay. He just sacrificed himself. No, it was a troll. Ogre. And that was worth doing, in my opinion. Not a bad XP boost. Get a bit faster. I can't get you without spending spell points, so goodbye. If you don't have Featherfall, you can obviously use these ledges to get down. Hopefully you do by now. Aim of the game is to get to that lever. Don't know if I hate shamans or throwers more. Probably an equal amount of disgust. Oh god. Have this sacrificial mace. They're even immune to the acid damage. Perfect. This mace isn't half bad. Obviously we're losing the benefits we get from these to our spell power, but if we're not casting spells then it doesn't really matter. I've got 14 strength, which for a first life wizard actually isn't awful.
You notice recognizable letters among the scratches on the wall. They read, Chief Jitik's room.
Pummel them to death. You'll find in the early levels you don't exactly act very mage-like. Wizardly. You tend to just do whatever is fastest. At least I might be talking for myself there. Take that password, thank you. Covert ring. Hide bonus, no, don't want that. But you see I always take it because I can sell it. Trap? No. That's how poor my memory is. That was a nice bit of XP. This next quest will leave us about 2k out of level 4, so worth doing. Now, we have to find this guy. Bit of a spoiler alert, you can skip ahead 10 seconds if you don't want to hear this. We are actually looking for his corpse, which is quite difficult to find because they're behind all of these. If you use Q, you'll select his corpse, like his remains. Otherwise, you look into each of these and you'll see some skeletal remains that aren't him. And you'll be wondering, is this him, every single time. It's very frustrating. As you can see here, somebody's died. I can assure you it's not him because he's not being selected. Yep, he's not behind there. Some chests, boxes. this is meant to be a prison complex, so of course we're going to have the optional
You
prisoner
hear the muffled
to rescue.
snarls of angry wolves nearby.
Yes. Allow me to sniff the brickwork. Where are you? Thank you. There's a blade that'll try and cut you in half if you don't disable it. Yeah. Can be quite brutal on Elite from memory. May have died there a few times. So hitting Q to find his bloodied remains. Now those jump pots are useful, the thing that just dropped out, but I've already got the spell which gives me plus 10 jump. If you combine them together, I believe that they do stack. I'll be the experimenter for you. So you can go to your jump skill. Where are we? Am I blind? 7. If we cast the jump spell. 17. Take the pot. Nothing, so it does not stack. Maybe I shouldn't be teaching this game if I actually don't know it. But that was what my first comment in the original episode meant. You can play this game for years and there's still stuff that you just don't remember or you don't know, you've never bothered to find out, or that you don't need to find out. Or things that change constantly. So it's definitely something that you need to master over a long period of time. Okay, we've rescued one. Yes, of course. There's no harm in searching every single room, unless you like to speedrun, which I usually do. Mushrooms. Bedraggled prisoner. Be free. I wonder what heinous war crimes these people have committed to be locked in here. Dead. And no Arlos. Oh no, we're after Ven now, aren't we? What was that potion? Garbage. Oh. Well, he let us get 2 crates, that's the main thing. I believe on harder difficulties that's a named boss sometimes. Might not have mentioned that. You'll get more named bosses and more chests on the harder difficulties, things that you wouldn't find on normal. It's just the... Oh! I see the corpse! I'm highlighting the corpse! There he is. That was quick. Far quicker than usual. Now we've got to kill the interrogator. I usually find him after killing the interrogator, so... This is an unusual turn of events. I can't precisely say where he is, but this looks promising. Is it you? No. Got another prisoner then. I don't mind some scorpions. As you can see, you can definitely do without these buffs. They're just nice to have, especially on harder difficulties where you want every little point to count.
You hear the cold scraping of bones against brick.
This has got to be it. Now with our negative spells, they will actually heal undead when you use them. So if I were to cast this on a skeleton, it would likely give them hit points instead of taking hit points. It's worth knowing what is undead and what isn't for that reason. Later on you get an enhancement where if an undead is hit by a negative spell once, they suddenly are weak to it, which means you can then cast another negative spell and they'll take damage rather than be healed. I get that later on so that I can nuke everyone and then start killing them with individual negative spells instead. Hopefully that was clear enough. There's one more prisoner. There you go. Do I get... Oh, there's 2 more prisoners. Where have I been? Haven't been down there. I'm thinking that's the last room. I'm also thinking that the other prisoner is down that right passage. Where might you be? I don't know, but there's a chest in there with my name on it.
A shamanic-looking kobold shrieks nonsense at you from beside a crude altar to his hateful gods.
Thank you. Haven't been keeping track of what bonus we're up to. We're only got a mischief bonus at the moment. It's because all the breakables are behind valves and then you have to interact with every valve and it's just a pain. There we go. That'll give us a bonus. Get out of here. That was terrible. I got more for killing those scorpions.
Cruel implements of torture are scattered around this room.
Cool. That's that quest run. And that's the end of the Waterworks chain. A nice little 4-part series. I think it's well worth it. I think you get 9,000 XP throughout the whole series on normal, about that much, which is good for an hour's work, especially at this level. Some of the loot's also quite good. Not that I had that luck. Now we've got to go all the way back to Guard Timber if we actually want our reward, which requires us to go straight to the start again. In fact, to save time, I might just recall. We could of course not go back for the reward, which is something I quite often find myself doing out of laziness, but I mean, it's worth doing just to have completed the quest, and I think you only get your favour reward after you've handed it in, so if you're after favour points then definitely worth going back.
The strong smell of sewage permeates the air around you.
I'm gonna ignore everything.
You hear human voices up ahead.
If you want to end the video here, then feel free, because I'm not going to run any more quests in this episode after I hand in my reward, but yeah. Do have to spend those enhancement points, which I'll do next time. We're very close to level 4, we only need one more decent quest. That opens up some more marketplace quests and some other quest chains, like I believe the Seal of Chanticleer is at level 4. You can do Arstone Inlet, which is one of my old favourites. So certainly not running low on content. Being pursued by an army at this point. Yeah, you get notified that you've angered the gods. It goes up to a stage 4 or stage 5. And you should probably run. I think I might have made a mistake because when I go to recall in a second I'm going to be attacked mercilessly. Ah, I want to pick that. So... At least I'll get my Slayer bonus. There we go. Okay, now you get to pick out of these. You get blue named items for finishing like a small saga or a small chain most of the time, and they'll generally be better than most things of their level. These all look like they're level 2 rewards despite being a high level chain. This will give you Melf's acid arrow you can use 3 times a day. Guard killer bow. This is better at killing humans if you want to specialize in that. Blue shine. The blue shine object will never take rust or acid damage. I'm going to take this because I am sick of oozes and rust monsters. You could get this. Swim bonus is not worth it. That's literally just a yellow augment slot. The piecemeal chain, that's pretty bad. Yeah, all of it's pretty bad to be honest, so I'm definitely going to go for the blue shine weapon. I'm going to keep that for a very long time because we'll never have to replenish it with replacement weapons. Alright, we can recall now. Eventually, if you damage your weapons enough, I might have already said this in another episode, but if you damage and repair enough times consecutively, it will eventually break. It can take a very long time, I believe it's chance based, but yeah, it's worrisome. That is good, very good ring. I think I'll take that. Yes, I will take that. You'll see that it's going to be slightly better or have more enhancements on it because it has that light blue border around it as opposed to the green or dark blue. So they're usually better on average. They'll be better for their level than most things will be. They'll be like a level greater than they are, which is always handy. I'm going to go grab my mail. That'll just be a favor related mail, but then I'll finish the episode. So thanks for watching. I hope you found everything interesting. The chains around this level are very good. I like them anyway. And we can actually start Tangaroot next time, which is an 8-part chain. It takes place outside of Housefee Island. That's my guildmate sending me an invitation. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. We can trash our hirelings soon once we hit level 4. I'm actually wondering... No, there's no way we have enough XP. 400... 3... Nah, we're a bit far off. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.